Okay, hi everybody. Thank you for spending your Tuesday evening with me to listen to a training. Hopefully, this will be intuitive and fun, and kind of keep you prepared, get you more prepared for Saturday, so things go super smoothly. So what I had in mind is I'm going to just very quickly give you an overview, telling you what's happening in the background, so you understand, and then I'm going to show you how you pretty much use three buttons to check in with guests, to capture pledges, and then to help them close their donations, right? To close the card. So those are the things that I have in mind. And then if you all have
So,
any
Nidhi, I
specific
think we should just maybe
questions.
start with the context. So,
Mhm.
everybody, as you know, we are going to be, this is the tool that we are going to use at the gala. Nina and everybody, if you could come a little early that day, say by about the check-in will start. Mostly people will start coming in at about 5:30. So, Nidhi, what do you think? Like about four o'clock, 4 to 5, you can just be in person, just making sure everything is good. Would that be a good time?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
please, if you could be there by 4 o'clock, we'd really appreciate it. So that just make sure that everything is going well and on time, and everybody's located, so that 5:30 we should be. It should be pretty smooth and easy, because I think mostly people have given me all the information. It may not be too much work, but just for you to be aware, I think that'll be a good thing. So and basically what we're going to do, Nidhi, is everybody's going to have their own phones, and you're
Mhm.
going to be downloading the Paybee app on the phone, and that's how we are going to go about using it. So those were the few quick things I wanted to say, and now go ahead, Nidhi, with your presentation.
Okay. Very good. Cool. Yeah. So, as Ranjini ji was saying, you will all be using your own phones. As donors, they don't need any app or anything, but as volunteers, you all will be downloading the Paybee app, and that's what you all will be using. Right. So, I'm going to start sharing my screen now and tell you just a couple of things about what's happening in the background and about the process. Are you all able to see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, very good. So, what will happen during check in is all of you will be standing at the check in counter. Again, with the Paybee system, all volunteers will be able to do handle all parts of the event. So, you all will be able to check in because, again, our whole goal is that there should never be a guest waiting in a line. So at the start of the event, all the volunteers will be set up to do check-ins, right? And then again, as the crowd kind of dwindles down, some volunteers can go inside to do other tasks, and then go mingle with your guests. And then once check-in is done, everybody will be doing the pledge drive. Once that's done, everybody will be handling checkout. All right. So during check-in, what happens is donors will either come in with a ticket on their phone or print it out. You'll be scanning it with your phone. You can also search for their name or email if they don't have a ticket. And all these things I'm going to show you, but I'm just walking you through the experience, right? So you're going to be scanning in the ticket. There is a process to handle walk-ins, and you'll be sending those people to me, right? And then again, all of you will be doing the check-in. Whole goal is no line. And then what happens is as they come in, you all will be handing them a card which looks like this. It will have names of people on it. It will also show the table number. Are you able to see? Did my screen become too little, like my picture? Stop sharing. So you all are going to give them a card, a name card, which looks like this. So it will already have the name printed on there. It will also show what table they're going to be sitting on, which will be pre-assigned. And for people who are walking in or didn't get the information before printing happened, those people, I will be showing you the process on the day of the event, or will be handling it separately. You'll just send them my way. Okay, so you'll give them this card, and then they're going to go inside, and then they're going to go have drinks, and then when the time comes for them to get to the table, they will just pull this out of their pocket or their purse, see which table they have to get to, and then they're going to get to the table. All right. And then on that table, there's also going to be a paddle like this, which will be sitting there already. It'll have their name on it. It'll be the same number that they have on this little card. It'll be the exact same number. All right. So this is what we're using for pledge drives.
So Nidhi, we didn't actually put we just put paper, right? We didn't actually put a stick at the bottom, right, for the LA Gala.
So this will not be.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
Right.
right.
I mean,
So this
that's
is
what we did at the LA Gala, right? That's what we did at the LA Gala, right? We just had the paper,
correct.
right? Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we just had that.
Anil,
No, I think
Anil Minocha, did we have a paddle or we just had the paper? Anilji is using just the paper was just fine, right, for
yeah,
Boston Gala.
actually. I think in New England they just had the paper.
Okay.
I think. Okay. So all right. So I'll come back to talking about the process. Okay. Then during pledge drive, so again, there are these paddles, in your case, without the stick, which will be kept on the table. And that's what donors will be raising when they want to make a pledge. So the way the pledge drive is going to work is then there will be, MC already knows, and even all of you will be knowing the amounts that are going to be called for. So for example, the MC will say, okay, now we're going to start raising $50,000. How many of you would like to donate $50,000? And we will have each of you volunteers assigned to maybe like 2 or 3 tables, and you will capture the pledges on your tables. So what that means is all the people who raise their paddle on your 3 assigned tables, you'll be capturing it into the Paybee app, and I'm going to show you how that gets captured. All right. So you all will be responsible for putting those pledges and assigning it to that number. Again, there's no paper form, nothing required. And what happens in the background is it's something like a cart system, right? So think of an Amazon shopping cart where you're adding things into the cart. You'll be adding pledges into the cart. So in the cart for number 246, you will add that commitment of $50,000, or next option will be $10,000. All right. And then what happens is everything will get added into the carts. And then there is a way where either the donors can close those carts on their own, or they can walk up to one of you volunteers and then you can help them process either credit card, cash, or check. All right. Any questions about the process so far?
Sorry, yeah, no, everything's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. If anybody has, please do speak up. I'm just loading up my phone to show you guys the exact steps that you'll have to take to achieve these things. Is somebody saying something? I'm not able to hear.
Can you guys hear me?
Now, yes.
Okay, so I was saying maybe you can show the step, and if there is any question, I'll ask later. But I was wondering, like when you say you add how the donor would be able to do it, because would they also have like the same application loaded in their? Okay.
If they want.
Right. So good question. So again, the whole idea is the donor should be focusing more on the cause and what shows being put in front of them, right? The whole idea is not to make them pull out their phone. So a lot of these things about adding things to cart and all will be done by all of us, the volunteers. And all the donor can do is only check out at the very end. That's it. Like
Right,
they will not be putting things into the cart.
Okay, so it's like a soft commitment, like they're not giving the credit card. It's just like taking the name and what they're committing.
And then at the end of the event, when the pledge drive is done, then we will be completing the commitments, and donors can put the payment method in, or they can walk up to a volunteer who can actually process a credit card, cash, or check. They can only pay with a credit card or with a bank account, but you all as volunteers can also take cash and check as well, because it needs to be handed over to somebody.
Okay, got it.
That's the process.
And I'll talk about the checkout process at the end once you finish.
I will for sure. Okay, so now I'm going to open my Paybee app, right? All of you will download this before the event. This is what the Paybee app looks like. You're going to hit the volunteer on the top right. You'll see this little pop-up, which not LA, it will show a color, NY Gala, which you'll tap. And this is the screen that you're going to use the entire evening for like everything that you need to do. There are no different pages you have to go to nowhere. This is where you will be starting everything, right? So at the start of the event, you'll be doing this check-in. which is this button. Then you'll be using this pledge. This is the middle two buttons, right? In your case, you'll be using multiple pledges, and I'll show you how. And then at the very end, you'll be doing checkout, which is at the bottom. And pretty much those are all the buttons that you need to use during the event. All right. So now let's go into check-in at the very beginning. So let's just say check-in. The donor comes in with an email. Let me just show you here. So this kind of an email. Okay. So for example, so I've already, they will be getting this email like a day or two before the event, right? So right now I've set it up for basically Anilji, right, who's on the call. So he's going to get an email like this that Ranjani ji has invited him and he's coming to the event. It'll have all the information about the event, the address and everything according to the New York event. So he'll come in with this email, and then on your phone, all you volunteers will hit that check-in button, which is right there. Let's unlock check-in. And then you're going to point it to this email. And then in his group, there are two of them, right? So you can is either just Anilji there or both of them there. So let's just say both of them come in, and then you hit check-in. And in his case, there is a card already, which is assigned. So let me just put that in since I forgot to enter before the demo. Let's just say number 201 is assigned to him. And table was also assigned. If it's not assigned, this is the process, which you all are not going to handle. You all will not even see the screen, right? You all will pretty much come to this screen. And this is what you're going to see, that Anilji is card number 201, and that's what you're going to give him in his hand. And you're going to tell him, hey, when you're ready, you can head to table number 3, right? And these will be pre-assigned, so both of them will show the same table number. All right? Then you will hit close. Then you will be on the screen, and then you can scan the next person's email. If the person comes in and says, oh, I don't have my phone, I don't have my email, you can say, no problem, we'll search by your name. So you'll hit the button at the bottom and you're going to put in their name. For example, if Parveen comes in, right? So she will be on the list. So on the list, and then she's not checked in. So let's check her in. Again, this will already be assigned 202. And then this is the screen you all will see. Give her card number 202 with her name on it and tell her when you're done with your drinks, please head to table number 4. And then you'll hit close. And then you're ready for the next check-in. Right? This is how you will check in all the guests, whether they bring the email or they don't bring any email. And again, if you're, any of those things not working, any questions or a guest comes in, you don't find them on the list, you'll just send them my way. All right, I will be there at the event. Any questions about check-in so far?
No, we're good. Just a quick one. Sorry to interrupt. What's the app name? I was wondering. I can start looking at it.
Paybee, Paybee, and it looks like the little B on the bottom right.
Okay, Paybee.
That app will be down. But we will be. You will be invited to be a volunteer at the organization. Until then, you won't be seeing any of this. Because again, you have to be an authorized volunteer to do all these things. But you can download the app and then do a sign up and go through that process in the meantime.
Okay, it's a Paybee. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Nidhi, this is Nirav from GEP. Sorry. So I'm going to have 5 to 7 people from my organization who are going to be available to volunteer. Mm-hmm. So what's the easiest? So this is kind of a train the trainer situation. So I'm going to use your recording to make sure it gets communicated internally. What's the best way for me to ensure that, as you've just said, they get invited to the app? Should I just send you an email with
to me,
first name, last name, email? Ranjini, to you?
Send it to Ranjini, and she will be inviting the volunteers. She will also send out all the things that we're covering right now will be broken down into small little videos, how to do check-in, how to do pledge drive, how to do checkout, which they can watch. And I would request that they watch before they come to the event.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll make sure that everybody's up to speed on the app. But then, Ranjini, I'll send you the list of people.
Please.
Okay.
And Nina and people from Princeton, I'm assuming all of the people who are coming will be willing to volunteer. If not, just let me know. Okay.
Yes, I think all of us are volunteering.
Yeah,
So
all
Perfect.
volunteering.
Perfect.
Very
Perfect.
good. Awesome. Looks like we're going to have a really good set of, well, a
Yeah,
big set of
smart,
volunteers.
young, wonderful people to volunteer.
Work
And we have,
together.
by the way, Nidhi, we have Viral, who is our Vice President for Technology, who's going to be there. So I'm so
That-
excited. He's watching
Hey
everything.
guys.
You know,
We're going to make him do some check-ins too.
yes, exactly. Of
Yeah,
course.
well, ready for that.
I know. And actually, he gets first-hand information. Then for our future also, maybe, Nidhi, it'll be really, really helpful
Definitely.
because he's going to
Yeah,
have a
that'll be
big
good
input.
experience.
Yeah, he'll have good input into how we should proceed. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so
Shall I continue?
Paybee is the app, right? Paybee. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Thanks.
I will continue with the flow, and then I am happy to address all questions about app setup or anything you'll have after this. All right. We'll just quickly get through the 3 steps that you'll need to know. Okay.
And I want to say one last thing.
Mhm.
I'm going to leave the recording going, but at 9 o'clock I have another meeting. So I'll go into the meeting. The EC meeting is at 9, so we'll do that. But you guys can continue. Okay. So.
All right. Okay, so now we're going to get to the second part, which is going to be the pledge drive. Again, we'll have one volunteer assigned to 3 tables. And the idea is that the whole idea, the biggest value of using Paybee at the event is that no single pledge gets missed. So if somebody says that, hey, I want to donate, as an organization, we should not miss that pledge, right? Either that it got lost on paper, something, all that should not happen, right? And that's why this whole system is going to be super useful. So we're going to hit add multiple pledges, this button right here, right? With these multiple guys. So I'm going to pick add multiple pledges. We're going to pick donate for school, right? This campaign is already set up. The amounts that the MC is going to announce on that night will be pre-filled here, and you will see them over here, right? Right now it's set up as a test, so it has the school options. On the day of the event, the exact options will show up for the New York Gala. So let's say now the MC is making an announcement that, hey, we're going to raise $5,000. How many of you would like to raise? So as a volunteer, you're going to pick 5,000 and you're going to be ready on this page. And you're going to keep adding the paddles that you see raised on your 3 tables, right? So for example, I see paddle number 200, raise the hand. So I say add. Paddle number 102 raised, add. 103 raise the paddle, add. 201 raise the paddle, add. So I keep adding my list just like this, and then I hit close. When I hit close, this pledge of $5,000 is going to get added to all their carts. Okay, so I hit close and done, right? Now the MC makes an announcement that, okay, great. Now we're going to go on to the next category, which is for 5 schools, which is $1,825. So as a volunteer, you're going to go on to that option and then be ready. And now you will start entering all the numbers that you saw for this particular option. Let's say 203 raise the paddle, add. Paddle was not correct. So you have to make sure you read maybe you got the digit wrong, right? So again, put the right number, 202, 201, raise the paddle, add. And then once you're done, if you make a mistake, you can hit the little trash button there and just take it off very quickly, right? And then you hit close, done. This is how all the pledges are going to get captured. Any question about capturing pledges?
Nidhi, can you go through add a pledge? It's probably similar screen,
Pretty
just
much
with
the
a single.
same, but it's not going to give you the ability to add many at a time. Like if one person comes and says, hey, I want to make a pledge, you'll go to add a pledge. You'll ask them for their number, which is like 202 next. And then this person has let's do another card. For example, if you did 103, or they already have a pledge. So it'll be that same experience. It's just that it's allowing you to do one at a time.
And it starts with the paddle number and then shows you the options.
Exactly. So it's the reverse flow. So you start with, you can either scan that paddle that I showed you or this big paddle, and then it will put it into that cart. So let's just say paddle number 102, right? I cleaned up. No. 103. Yeah, so this is the paddle. You'll say accept donation, and then you'll pick donate for school, and same, $730. And you can ask them for their address because ICL will require you to add address. You put in their address, it will autocomplete, and done, right? You come back. You come back pretty much. All the paths will pretty much lead you to the same experience. All right. But for our case on Saturday, it's going to be the add multiple pledges, which will be mostly like 98% of the time.
So one quick one.
Yeah.
Once you close the pledge, doesn't that will add up to the or whatever the centralized location with all the pledges? But if somebody wants to, like you miss somebody, you can go back again and add that pledge, right?
Yes. If you really miss somebody or they call you later on, I would say still go to add multiple pledges.
Okay.
The option, or if somebody says, "Oh, I want to give $101," you'll pick the custom option at the bottom, 101. Okay. And then put in their number, which is basically maybe 400 if there is one. Add same process. Just add one number. This was not assigned. Let's just say 103. Add and close. That's it. I would say just use this button. It will work for everything.
Okay, great. Thanks.
All right. Okay. Now we're going to go to checkout. So all the items have been added to people's carts. Now the MC will make an announcement. Hey, all of you, there are two ways you can check out. So either you can scan this code, which is on your card, with your own phone camera. And I'm going to show you how the donor is going to do it. Let me show how you guys are going to do it first. Okay. So again, you're going to go to the Paybee app, same page. You go to that little checkout at the bottom left. And then you'll ask the donor, hey, can you show me your paddle or can you tell me the number? And they show you their paddle. So you can either point it and scan. It'll show you their cart. Like Deepak Sharma, he has this pledge that he had made, right? And then you're going to hit checkout at the bottom. And then you can take either cash, card, or check from them, right? If they give you cash, you hit cash. And then you'll ask them, hey, do you have corporate matching at your company? And they'll say, oh, yeah. And which company do you work for? You start typing and it'll show, you put that in, and then you hit record. Okay. And then it'll get recorded. They'll get corporate matching information and everything will happen. And then you take the cash and you put it in the box that we'll have over there. Okay. If they want to pay by a credit card, you can do credit card. And then either you can enter the digits over here or you can hit that little scan card, which is over there. Let me show you. And so scan card works great for all, those cards with the bumpy numbers. It works for those cards. For other cards, the fancy ones right now, the scan doesn't extend to that. But you just point it to your credit card and then it will read the digits. So you don't need a swiper or anything, right? And then you put the CVV and then I'm going to put in a test card to show you guys how this process is. So I put a test credit card number. And then, again, you can ask him for his corporate matching information. Please give me your company name, Apple, Microsoft, whatever it is. You put that in the list. If it's not in the list, you just write down their name and we'll still send them the matching instructions. And then you hit save, get them to sign over here, right? Whatever the signature is. And then they will hit checkout and transaction done, right? And they will get a receipt immediately for their donation.
Just one question.
Yeah.
Does the tool save the credit card information just in case anybody has sensitivities around data? It does not. Okay, great.
Does not save at all. Okay. And again, I should have told you guys about that. Let me just tell you one more thing related to that. Again, so I've come to this person's card. So there are two things in the card, right? I'm going to hit checkout. And again, on the card, since MasterCard and Visa and all these credit card companies charge a fee of processing it, we give the option to the donor if they would like to cover. Like you see right here, where they can choose to cover that fee. And if they don't want to, they can uncheck that box and it will only charge them the exact amount of donation. And then they sign and that's all will be processed on their card. All right. So that's something you can explain to the donor. Would you like to cover that fee? Okay.
Just
and then yeah.
Do we have any disclaimer to the question that Neeraj asked? Like the tool is not saving the credit card number. Like a MC would be announcing or something like that, just so that they know.
So it's the thing is, it is designed. Well, Generally, I'm telling you, we run hundreds of events. This question doesn't quite come up because it's something like using Square or a credit card machine or something like that, right? But specifically, if a donor asks, you can answer them. It does not save it, but generally, it's processing donation. So I haven't seen that question come up.
Right, but I mean, it's not Square. We are using our personal phones to do that, right? So,
but it is an app, right? Again, even if you're using Square, also you will be using a Square app on your phone or an iPad or something.
okay.
So pretty much the same. All right.
Are there any instances in which you would split the payment method? Say I have a pledge of $1,000, but for whatever strange reason, I want to do 500 in cash and 500 in check or card. Is there a mechanism to adjust the dollar amount?
Yeah, so in that case, which again would be super rare, but what you can do is you can go back and then you can just edit this card and say 101, I want to pay with cash, right? So you just delete that for now, and then you would process this with cash card check, and then you create another one and then process them for that 101. So just do 2 transactions.
Got it. So you need to create.
It's super rare, like
super, I just I'm just planning for contingents.
No, but sure, you should get your doubt cleared. Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right. I'll go on to check now. So if somebody gives you a check, which again will be pretty common on the day of the event, you do check. You say record front, and then you take the picture of the check that they give you. For example, if this is the check, take a picture of the check. You can ask them for their company name. For example, I work at Google. You put that information in, and then you hit record. And again, the organization will get an electronic copy of the check, and then you take the check and you go put it in that box, the cash box that we'll have over there. And then you hit confirm. The donor will get an acknowledgement immediately, and everything will work just fine.
Perfect. And if somebody pays cash but needs change for whatever reason, what's the process?
I'm guessing the cash box will have some change. I can, Dr. Ranjiji, she'll probably have some cash in there. Yes. Okay. So to recap for you guys, there are pretty much 3 buttons that you will be using. The check-in, you'll be using add multiple pledges, and then checkout on the day of your event. One more experience that I want to show you all is if a donor wants to check out on their own, where if they're not comfortable giving credit card or they just want to leave quickly and they want to do it on their phone, they can. And I just want to show you guys, so in case they ask questions, you can help them. Again, as a donor, they don't need the app, right? What they're going to do is just turn on their regular phone camera. So just the phone camera on the top right, and they're going to point it to this card that we've given them or the paddle. They just point to it, a notification will pop up. You tap on the notification, and then they will see their cart where the pledge is already captured by you guys. Okay? Hopefully I have not added a pledge to cart number 200. Let me quickly add it. So add pledges, donate for school. Let's do one for one school, cart number 200, add, close. Let's go back, scan again. Tap on that. It's refreshing. So see, it will show the amount in their cart, 365. They cannot delete it. If there's a mistake or something, they will come up to one of you volunteers and then you know how to delete it and take it out of their cart. But for them, they can hit checkout and then they can use Apple Pay or credit card, Android Pay, bank account, anything to make a payment, right? It will show the best method of payment for that device. So right now it's Apple Pay since I'm using an iPhone. I'm going to hit pay. And then I use my Touch ID. And that's it, donation done, right? So this is how they can close their cart on their own. Right. Again, if you are confused, if you have questions on each of the cards and the paddle, there is a small line which says an instruction to do self-checkout. Please scan the QR code with your mobile phone and that's it, right?
So one question on the self-checkout. I
Yeah.
didn't see the opportunity to enter your organization name for employee matching.
Good question. We have to turn that on. So
Got
we
it. Okay.
have not turned it on for. It will be turned on for Friday, but thank you for noticing that.
And then second
Yes.
question is, is it in our best interest to check them out unless for whatever reason they really want to do it themselves, just so that we can ensure that it does in fact go through for whatever reason with the self-checkout? People may start but may not complete the process.
So I mean, some of them will just do it on their own. Like typically what we've seen, about 20% of a crowd will just read it, the instruction on their own and do it on their own.
Got it.
And then some of them will approach you guys.
Okay.
In Paybee, there's also a system where like I will be sitting at the back of the room and I will know which tables have how many pending pledges. So I might send a couple of volunteers, hey, go to table number 104, 109, and 108 have pending pledges. So you can go speak to them, hey, can I help you close it, or would you like to close it on your own?
Okay.
So you can do that as well. So all that will happen on the day of the event.
Great.
All right. But again, the process for you is the same. You'll go up to their table and either help them do it on their own if they want to, or you'll hit that checkout button and then help them check out on the day of the event. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
So, Nidhi, this is Viral. It still leaves that use case open when a person is not already in the system, right? Somebody just walks in.
Yeah. So what's going to happen in that case, and I'm happy to walk you through, is we will have a whole bunch of blank cards, just like this. Let me show you. And this is what I will mostly be doing, and maybe one or two volunteers sitting next to me. You see this card with no name and no table assigned to it? It's exactly like the other cards, but it's going to be empty. And what happens with these people is we will be doing that assignment in real time. So let me start sharing again. I'm going to use one of the other buttons on the app. So right here, I'm going to do this assign paddle, this button, because again, it has not been assigned to somebody. So we're going to do assign paddle. I'll pick up this empty paddle that I have. I can just point to it, and then I'll ask the donor, hey, Viral, you just came in, give me your email address. And then you'll say, for example, and if you're in the system, it will auto-populate. You're not in the system. Viral at, for example, paybee.io. And then I'll ask you for your name, Viral Patel, and then assign. And then I will do a real-time assignment for you. So I'll say you're going to be on table number 3 and give you this card, and then you'll be on your way. And that's it. So assign paddle is what will be used for people whose name cards are not there, who are walk-ins.
So essentially for a volunteer, that does not make any difference.
Not really. I mean, if, again, the guest list.
Flow will be the same, right? It's only you and a couple of others will be kind of tackling that real time. And then for the most of the volunteers, the process does not change.
So the only caveat there is I'm waiting for the guest list. And depending on if the guest list has most of the names, then it'll be check-in for more of the guests and paddle assignment for fewer of the guests. In that case, we'll have a smaller group of people just doing assign paddle. But if it turns out that the guest list doesn't have too many names, then more people will be doing assign paddle. And I will tell you that on the day of the event when you all come in at 4. Today we're going to do check-in and paddle or just check-in. But essentially it's going to be just one of these two.
Okay, one more question, please.
Yeah.
Do you have more information than just the email address that you capture? Physical address, donor ID?
Physical address will be captured if they walk up to you and they say, hey, I need to do a donation. So if you add pledges one at a time, it will ask you for the address, which Ekal needs. But if you're doing multiple pledges, because again, when you're doing it during the pledge drive, there's no time to go in and ask for every person's email address. So, physical address. So, address will not get captured in that situation. Again, if it is required, it will just be a part of the flow. You don't need to do anything special. It will prompt you automatically if you had to capture something. So, don't worry about it. If the screen comes up in front of you, then you process that through. Otherwise, you don't need to go anywhere special to do anything different.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have a screenshot of the email that they get when we complete the checkout?
It will be exactly like this. Or when they check out. Yeah, I can show you that one. They will get an acknowledgement for the donation. Yeah. 1 second. Thank you for your donation to Ekal Vidyalaya, $2,000. And it will actually have a whole list for cards or look like this. This is how that email is going to look. Dear Nidhi, the name was set to table for some reason, but it'll be Nidhi and full name. And then for actual things that they donated to. So it will have a list of all the items.
And what's the reply to email address here?
So it will come back to Paybee. We will do the first level of customer triage, and then we work with the head office with any other questions that we can't handle.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, scroll down at the bottom. See, is there a phone number or something here, or no? Just Paybee information and email. I see. Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Again, just so you guys know, some other things that will happen is now because all the pledges are captured on the day of the event, there might be some people who either leave early or say, hey, I want to close it from a different account or something, and they just end up leaving. And those people will get a reminder the next day that, hey, you have a pending pledge, and you can close it by tapping this button. So a majority of the donors end up closing a day after. And then for people who don't end up closing, then your volunteers can call them and follow up. Again, idea is to make it easy for you guys as much as possible. So it can be done automatically and you have fewer people to call after.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Nidhi, you were on the LA Gala as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was there anybody really with cash? No, I'm assuming no, right?
People don't give cash too much. Yeah, it's mostly check and credit card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm assuming some people will visit who have a credit card from outside USA, like Indian or Canadian. Would that just go through like a standard credit card?
If it can process US dollars, yes, it will go through.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you found any instances where the credit card donation channel potentially resemble maybe donating small amounts? I mean, I would imagine that it obviously depends on your card limit, but say you don't have $100,000 limit on your card, likelihood that you would deliver $5,000 or $10,000 versus writing a check for a more significant, or do you feel like it just kind of splits organically based on how much people are giving?
I don't understand your question.
So if I don't necessarily know how much I'm going to give, depending on the credit card that I have with me and the maybe limits associated with that card would constrain how much I'm able to donate in the moment, because I would not exceed my credit card limit. Say it's $20,000.
So the way it would work out is if they committed 10,000 and they're trying to process that, and then the card will just decline, right? In that case, you can tell them the card declined, and then they can choose to give you another card or something. Again, yeah, that information is not available. What the limit is, right? It will just decline, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think you covered that in some cases they will not be closing it right away, and so the follow up will happen from their side, or it's something the team will follow based on the closing we have.
No, so emails will go out the next day, and they'll have an email that, hey, for example, Viral Patel, thank you for your pledge of this amount. You can tap here to close it. And he can close it on his own using his credit card, bank account, or however he wants to close it. And the money will directly go to Ikal. And even reminders will go out after that. So he'll get if he doesn't take action, he'll get a reminder in 2 days, another one in 2 weeks. And then it will stop sending reminders. And then you guys can take on from there and call your donor and follow up.
Okay. Just a quick question, maybe not so much related with this. Do you have to pay for the Paybee? Like, is it is it ACL application? It's not ACL application. It's kind of. But do you have to subscribe to this? Do you have to make any payments to this Paybee thing?
Are you asking with respect to ACO or some other org? Because ACO, we have like a deal and all that in place.
Okay. The reason I'm saying we do it at Connecticut, right? Like, so when we do our program, it's a huge pain to kind of do this follow-ups because people promise and then we trying to do. So I was thinking, and this is I was there in Niagara last time. This time I'll be kind of seeing this whole process. Like, if it can work out, why don't we adopt it at our place? So that's what I was thinking. Is there a kind of any?
Yeah, I mean, go talk to Ranjini ji, me, whoever, and we can get you set up for your connect. We are working with a whole bunch of chapters, and the goal is to work with all the chapters and help you with your small events, music concerts. Again, you shouldn't have multiple different tools. There's like one tool that can do all your donations. It has your donor list for your chapters, so you know how to follow up, where they are, all those things. So, and that's the goal that even like Suresh ji and Ranjini ji have, and the vision, and that's what they want to get all the chapters to. So again, we're talking
we'll talk about that. Yeah,
about
sure.
where we need to get you guys and what tools we need to give you guys. So that's an ongoing discussion. But to quickly answer your question, that let us hear me, anybody know, and we can get you started for your Connecticut chapter.
Okay, great. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Yeah.
Last question. What time we are there? We need to be there.
I think Ranjini ji mentioned 4 o'clock, no? 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, and if it's different, she will email you.
Okay.
As a follow-up to this, so again, you all will be getting invitations to be volunteers at the organization, and then you all have to accept that invitation, and you have to download the Paybee app and then go through sign up. Again, we're going to include a little video, like 2-3 minute video, which will show you the sign up, and you can follow along. It's just a YouTube video. You all can follow along. You all will also get more videos with all the things that I covered today. So if you all forgot or dozed off during the session or whatever, or you have to share with people who didn't come, they can still watch the video.
Okay, great. So from Connecticut, we have a few more volunteers who did not join. So I'll forward their email addresses to you, so you guys can forward them. And then
I think we forward it to her. She's volunteer management, and she will add them. And
okay, sure. Thanks.
Okay, very cool, everybody. Unless anybody has any super big pressing question or anything that we missed, anything?
No, that sounds good.
No, thank you.
It was good.
Okay,
thank you, Nidhi.
Look forward to meeting you all on Saturday.
Yep. Thank you
See
so
you then.
much. See you then.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Bye-bye.